Swamps already have a way of creeping us out. Dark waters, endless trees, and that eerie, unnatural stillness. But sometimes, the fear goes beyond the setting itself. From strange figures to encounters with mythical creatures, these are some of the most terrifying discoveries made in the murky depths that shocked the whole world.
A mysterious sea creature was just spotted off the coast of North Carolina, and it's got a lot of people scratching their head.
We've all heard stories about the famous Loch Ness monster, right? But what if you were told that it was spotted in Scotland, and it got so viral on social media that it even made the news? In the calm waters of Scotland, a massive sea creature swam gracefully, its large shape breaking the water's surface. It could have been the legendary Loch Ness monster. Witnesses who saw it described the creature as immense, with a long body that moved smoothly through the waves. Its shadow resembled the classic descriptions of Nessie, the mythical creature said to dwell in the depths of Loch Ness. As it swam further, ripples stretched across the water. But hey, maybe it was just a giant fish trying to get its own moment of fame on social media too.
Quick, and I said, oh my gosh, it was kind of like we saw a dinosaur.
Bigfoot in Kenya? So, you think Bigfoot only roams the forests of North America, huh? Well, think again. A video from Kenya recently surfaced showing a huge, hairy creature walking through a lake, and people are freaking out. The creature is massive, tall, and covered in thick hair, with a slow, steady gait. The moment people saw it, they couldn't help but compare it to Bigfoot. It was hard to deny the resemblance to the legendary creature that's been rumored to live in remote forests. But is it really Bigfoot, or is it just something else we can't explain? This video definitely has everyone questioning the truth behind the legend. Strange lake creature. Alligators are pretty common in some lakes, but sometimes they can look a lot stranger than expected. Recently, a man spotted something swimming on the lake's surface at an incredible speed, and he captured it on video. The footage was a bit blurry, but the creature's features were hard to ignore. It had an unusual mouth, sharp teeth, and a noticeable nose, none of which matched anything familiar. The appearance didn't match any known species. Later, it was suggested that the creature might have been a sleeping alligator, which can look pretty bizarre when it's half submerged in the water. Still, the mystery of what was really lurking beneath the surface remains. Lake of Aliens. We've all heard about UFOs being spotted in the sky, right? But have you ever heard about a passenger spotting aliens in a river, looking like it was their habitat, as if they'd been living there for ages? Well, that's exactly what happened at the Lake of the Ozarks. A man walking near the lake noticed something strange in the water. A mysterious creature with a slim, elongated body moved through the shallow waters, looking very alien-like. Then, another creature appeared, almost identical to the first. The two beings interacted for a moment and then began walking together into the lake, as if they had their own underwater home. Hand from the deep. One quiet night in Indonesia, a man was out on a boat, enjoying the calm of the lake under the moonlight. Suddenly, a human-like hand emerged from the surface of the lake. It moved slowly and deliberately, reaching toward a nearby rock and slapping it with a loud splash. The man was completely startled and couldn't believe what he was seeing. The hand was pale and slender, with long fingers that seemed to shimmer. It moved quickly before disappearing back into the water, leaving the man in shock. I can't even imagine being in his shoes, frozen in disbelief and probably questioning reality. Aussie Swamp Mystery. Exploring the swamps of Australia can be a wild adventure, and one group definitely got more than they bargained for. As they made their way through the swamp, a strange creature emerged from the murky water. Its shape and features didn't match any known swamp animals, and it moved in a way that seemed off. Even the experts couldn't figure it out. What was even more surprising was its size. It was much bigger than they anticipated. Human-faced fish. In a river in India, an unusual fish with a yellow-brown body and an eerie, human-like face was discovered. Now your first thought would be, could this be a merman? The features on its face were oddly shaped, making it look nothing like the fish people were used to seeing. As it swam through the water, it caught the attention of those nearby. When the video was uploaded online, people said that the fish's face looked almost human, with expressions that reminded them of a goblin. Now this isn't just any normal fish.
这个鱼已经成精了，有人的样貌。
Mysterious Chinese being. In China, a man filmed a mysterious sea creature near the shore, and it definitely wasn't like anything he had ever seen. The creature's unusual look made it hard to identify, leaving everyone wondering if it was an undiscovered species. The man tried to either catch it or scare it off, but the creature didn't seem bothered at all. Instead, it stayed close, almost as if it was observing him. The footage shows its odd features, but no one can quite agree on what it is. Some people even claim it could be a crocodile, but the truth remains a mystery. Goblins in the jungle. It's no secret that the Amazon rainforest holds many mysteries, but this one is beyond anything expected. While exploring deep in the jungle, a group of adventurers came across strange creatures that looked like goblins. They had bulging eyes, sharp teeth, and small pointed ears. There weren't just one or two, but many hiding in the dense trees. The creatures moved easily through the shadows, blending in with their surroundings. The explorers couldn't believe their eyes. They thought these creatures might have lived in the rainforest for years, hidden from the world by the thick trees and isolation. Albino softshell surprise. Turtles are fascinating creatures, aren't they? These ancient reptiles have been around for millions of years, and yet they still manage to surprise us. Take this footage for example. A person was just relaxing when he noticed a strange white creature lurking nearby. Naturally curious, he decided to try and lure it closer by placing some food on a stick. And sure enough, the creature slowly approached him, following the food. As it got closer, he could finally make out what it was. The creature was small, fully white, and had a bulky body. Despite its size, it seemed oddly calm and curious. It took the food from the stick before turning and disappearing back into the pond. Now that was one creepy encounter. Slimy being. Swamps are known for their mystery, right? Full of hidden creatures, strange sounds, and all kinds of oddities. One day, a person was walking through a remote swamp when he spotted a mysterious, slimy creature that was slowly moving through the muck. It was completely black, and its body looked sticky, almost gooey, as if it was covered in some kind of slime. The creature's face was hard to make out, which only added to how strange it looked. It wasn't in any rush, just crawling slowly through the swamp like a giant slug. The whole thing was pretty unsettling. I really don't know what this thing is. What do you think? Underwater alien. People are always curious about strange sightings, especially when they happen in places like the Maldives. Back in 2014, tourists there reported seeing a mysterious creature walking underwater, with a glowing head that instantly grabbed attention. The creature had arms and legs, moving in a way that seemed alien-like, but its body looked completely different from anything ordinary. Some even thought it might be an alien. It appeared perfectly at ease in the water, as if it belonged there. It was one of those sights that stayed with you long after it disappeared. Mother's silent watch. Ghostly sightings have always fascinated people, and this one was no different. In a peaceful forest near a calm lake, a woman was spotted sitting by the water's edge, holding a child in her arms. Her toes dipped into the water, but something about her presence felt off. The woman appeared ghostly, with pale, lifeless features that gave an eerie vibe. She sat completely still, creating a strange, otherworldly atmosphere around her. The child she held seemed lifeless too, though its legs moved slightly, almost as if it was trying to escape. The entire scene was unsettling. Loch Foyle monster. We've all heard stories about mysterious creatures lurking in lakes and oceans, but this one took things to another level. While filming at Loch Foyle, a massive creature moved through the water. At first, people thought it might be a whale, since they've been spotted in the area before. But Matthew, who was closer, was sure it wasn't a whale. It looked like something straight out of a legend, he said, even comparing it to the Loch Ness monster. The creature was huge, moving slowly but powerfully, creating ripples that spread across the water. Some think it's an undiscovered sea creature, while others have wilder theories. Wouldn't you be amazed if you saw something like that?
Is that a hair?
Floating shadow. If you've ever watched Harry Potter, you know how those dark, shadowy figures in the Forbidden Forest make you feel like something creepy is lurking nearby. Well, something like that recently happened when a strange, shadowy figure was spotted floating in a river. The figure looked eerie, almost like one of those hooded, dark shapes from the magical world, and it definitely caught everyone off guard. For those familiar with myths and legends, it reminded them of creatures like naiads, the river spirits from Greek mythology, or even banshees from Irish tales, who were said to appear before something bad happened. Eerie River Encounter. An Indonesian YouTuber and his friend were live streaming their adventure through a dense forest. They were excited, sharing the beauty of the place with their audience. But things took a strange turn when they reached a river. From a distance, they noticed something unusual floating in the water. At first, it was hard to make out, but as they zoomed in with their camera, the figure became clearer, and it was creepy. The shape seemed unnatural, almost like a monster. They froze, unsure whether to get closer or run. The figure didn't make a sound, just floating slowly in the water, creating an unsettling feeling. If it were me, I'd probably have turned and run the other way. But who knows? Maybe curiosity would have won out. Horned creature spotted. In the vast, mysterious lands of Brazil, especially near the Amazon, strange things often happen, right? And here, one day, local tribesmen were shocked when they saw a horned, demon-like creature chasing an animal toward the river. The creature seemed to be hunting its prey, and the desperate animal tried to escape by jumping into the water, swimming for its life. The tribesmen, seeing what was happening, quickly started throwing big rocks into the river to distract the horned creature. They wanted to give the animal a chance to escape. The scene became chaotic with loud splashes, and the tribesmen shouting in panic, trying their best to protect the animal from the terrifying creature. What would you have done if you were in their shoes? Let me know in the comments. Splashing shadows. A man was kayaking on a calm lake when, as he paddled, small splashes appeared around his boat. At first, he thought it was nothing and assumed it would be a normal day on the water, but that's exactly where he was wrong. Those tiny splashes soon grew bigger. The water around him started rippling, as if something huge was below the surface. He paused, trying to figure out what was going on. Suddenly, the splashes moved away from his kayak, and in the distance, larger splashes appeared. They were far more intense than before, creating big waves. The whole scene was both mesmerizing and unsettling. It legit looked like something massive was beneath the water, causing all that chaos. But he couldn't see what it was. River alien spotted.
What is that?
I thought it was like somebody up there maybe like fishing or something.
A mysterious creature was filmed crossing a river in the UK, and believe me, it left everyone stunned. The strange being had a long, thin neck and a tiny face at the top, giving it an alien-like look. The footage showed the creature gliding smoothly through the water, its movements looking almost unreal. It didn't resemble any animal people had seen before. Its thin neck and small face made it even harder to figure out what it could be. Some believed it might be a completely new species, while others thought it could be a mutated animal, or maybe even something extraterrestrial.
Honestly, is it a snake? There's no way.
1956, Lake Monster. In 1956, something strange was caught on film at Wallowa Lake. A man recorded what many believe was a monster with a long neck gliding through the water. The grainy footage showed the creature moving gracefully, its neck rising above the surface like something out of a prehistoric era. People compared it to the Loch Ness monster or even a brachiosaurus. The sighting has sparked debates for years. Some think it was a sea monster or an ancient creature, while others believe it might have been a mistaken identity. But one thing's for sure, the eerie footage still raises more questions than answers. Mermaid sighting proof. We've always heard stories about mermaids, haven't we? But what if they were real? This footage might just be the proof. A local sea diver was near the shore when he suddenly spotted something unbelievable: a mermaid. In the video, only the mermaid's tail was visible, shimmering in the water. Her face or body didn't appear, but even that tail was enough to cause a stir. People watching the footage were amazed, and many believed it was solid proof of mermaids' existence. Mysterious blackfish. While visiting an aquarium, a man saw a strange fish that caught his eye. The fish was completely black, with shiny skin that moved through the water like it was gliding on air. What made it even weirder? Its face was completely hidden, adding to the mystery, with a long, flowing tail that swayed as it swam, and bold white stripes on its sides. This fish definitely stood out. Its graceful movement had everyone staring in awe, and people couldn't stop wondering, was this a rare species no one had ever seen before, or just a totally new discovery? Creepy hand emerges. A family was enjoying a peaceful river ride, the water calm, and everything seemed perfect, until suddenly a creepy, monstrous hand appeared at the back of their boat. It was like something straight out of a horror movie. The hand was huge, with long, bony fingers that looked unnatural and downright terrifying. For a moment, it clung to the boat, almost as if it was trying to grab hold of them, before slipping back into the water as quickly as it had come. This shocking footage showed the family's stunned reaction as they tried to understand what had just happened. Lake secrets in India. Back in 2021, in a peaceful lake in India, something strange was spotted near the surface. It moved slowly, creating ripples in the calm water. People watching couldn't quite figure out what it was, but it was enough to catch their attention. Then, out of nowhere, a huge splash broke the silence. Waves spread across the lake as whatever was on the surface disappeared quickly. It was like something much larger had risen from the depths, attacking the creature before vanishing just as fast. Father-son mystery. While enjoying a peaceful day by the lake, a father and son stumbled upon something truly bizarre. They were spending time fishing and bonding when they noticed unusual ripples forming on the calm surface of the water. Intrigued, the son decided to grab their camera, hoping to capture whatever was causing the disturbance. As they focused on the water, a strange creature suddenly emerged. The creature was odd and only partially visible at the surface of the water. It lingered near the surface for a short time, but it was unclear what it actually was.
Hold on. There's like turtles on it or something.
Rare goldfish discovery. Goldfish are pretty common, but every now and then, something truly rare pops up. In Japan, a man made an unbelievable discovery in a pond. A super rare Oranda panda goldfish. The footage is absolutely mind-blowing as the fish swims gracefully, flaunting its stunning black and white panda-like patches. This amazing goldfish is a rare mix of the Oranda and panda moor types, and it's got this unique hood on its head that makes it even cooler. What's so exciting? Not only is it super rare, but it's also incredibly beautiful with its cute, rounded body. People are going crazy over this fish because it's so unique. It can live up to 15 years with the right care, and after seeing this footage, it's easy to see why everyone's so obsessed. Bridge creature sighting. It's not every day that security cameras catch bizarre-looking beings, but this footage definitely did. Near a small bridge, the camera picked up two strange creatures by the water. One creature seemed to be lying still on its side, while the other sat nearby, almost like it was keeping watch. Things got even weirder when the second creature suddenly jumped into the water and disappeared beneath the surface. The way it moved seemed purposeful, as if it was used to being in the water. The creatures didn't act like any animals you'd normally see around that area, making it all the more mysterious. Massive crocodile. Seeing creatures in their natural habitat can be thrilling, especially when they're rare or massive. In a clear water pond, a giant crocodile was spotted resting just below the surface. It was lying on a branch underwater, with part of its body visible above the waterline. The crocodile appeared calm and at ease, not moving much. Its tough, scaly body could be seen faintly through the clear water, making it clear just how massive it was. This sighting was unique, because it's not often you get to see such a large crocodile so clearly in its natural surroundings. Krasue spirit sighting. The Krasue spirit is a strange and eerie figure in folklore, often described as a floating head with internal organs trailing behind. This ghostly creature is said to roam at night, hunting for humans. While on a cruise, a couple happened to capture something that many online viewers are calling a Krasue spirit. They filmed a long, slender neck emerging from the water, which moved slightly before sinking back beneath the surface. The couple tried to get a better look, but it disappeared quickly. Could this be a real-life version of the Krasue spirit? What do you think? Ripples on the lake.
Será tremor debaixo d'água?
When you're out on a calm lake, you expect peaceful waters, right? But that wasn't the case for some boaters who recently experienced something odd. The water, which had been still, suddenly came alive with ripples spreading across the surface, as if something large was swimming just beneath. Small bubbles popped up along with the ripples, which made the scene even more strange. The boaters looked around but couldn't see anything causing the disturbance. It wasn't a fish or anything familiar. The ripples lasted a while before fading away. It was like something huge was breathing beneath.
Tem peixe, não tem nada. Eles vêm acompanhando.
Ghostly force strikes. In a quiet, remote place, two men were standing in a dark corner when something chilling happened. Out of nowhere, a strange wave-like force hit one of them, sending him crashing to the ground. It seemed to pull him toward it, like it had a life of its own. The other man rushed to help, but no matter how hard he tried, his friend disappeared, leaving no trace. Just when things seemed to calm down, the same invisible force returned, knocking him backward with a strength that couldn't be explained. How creepy is that? Bigfoot at Wild Horse. Wild Horse Lake in Oregon is one of those hidden gems surrounded by dense woods and mountains that make you feel like anything could be lurking just out of sight. Back in 2016, a man was filming a vlog at the lake when something caught his friend's attention. In the distance, a black furry creature emerged from the water and dashed toward the hills. At first, they thought it was just a bear, which was common in the area, but the way it moved felt strange, swift and purposeful, unlike any bear they'd seen. Locals had long talked about Bigfoot sightings, and this creature seemed to match those stories perfectly. The size, the black fur, and the mysterious behavior. Loch Ness mystery.
It was a strange noise. My dogs went crazy. As I looked down, there was something in the photograph.
Loch Ness has always been a place of mystery, and in December 2018, something strange happened. While walking along the misty shore with his dogs, a man heard an unusual noise that made his dogs bark and grow uneasy. He checked his phone, looking at the photos he had just taken, and noticed something strange in one of them. The photo showed a long, sinuous shape rising from the dark water of the loch, almost like it was coming from the depths. The figure seemed mysterious and out of place. Was it just a trick of the light, or did he capture Loch Ness in action?
The line of the River Oich. The River Oich runs down into Loch Ness. It's absolutely lovely. And I went and I stopped and I took a photograph over it.
Mysterious stripes spotted. While boating on a calm lake in South Africa, a man had a strange encounter that really got him thinking. In the distance, he spotted something gliding smoothly across the water's surface. It had bold, black and white stripes and moved like a snake. Curious, he steered his boat closer to take a better look. The creature seemed big, but the water's ripples made it hard to see clearly. It swam and showed just enough of its body to be intriguing. As the man got closer, the mysterious creature suddenly dove underwater and vanished. Ghostly shadow. The Rio Claro waterfall in Brazil is known for its breathtaking views, attracting visitors from all over. But recently, something unusual was caught on camera there. A tourist filming the stunning waterfall noticed a strange, shadowy figure appear in the water. It looked almost human, and at first, the tourist thought it was just a trick of the light. But as he zoomed in, the figure didn't disappear. It seemed to vanish into the water without a trace. The video left everyone stunned, and locals said that it could be the ghost of someone who had drowned in the waterfall long ago. Mermaid encounter. Mermaids have always captured our imaginations with their enchanting tales, and this recent sighting left people stunned. A group of mermaids was spotted relaxing on rocks by the shore, just hanging out like they were on a beach day. Then, one of them suddenly hopped from one rock to another before diving gracefully into the water. The rest followed, vanishing beneath the surface like it was the most normal thing in the world. These mermaids had the classic features: upper bodies like humans and long fishtails. Shadow in the water. Shadows can play tricks on your mind, especially when you're out in the water. One swimmer had just that experience when a huge, shadowy figure appeared behind her. It looked massive and mysterious, almost like something straight out of the Loch Ness monster stories. As soon as she saw it, she quickly swam away, clearly startled. People started to wonder, could it be an unknown creature lurking in the lake? Or was it just a big fish or some floating debris? The shape and size of the shadow made it hard to tell, and the swimmer's quick reaction only added to the mystery. Some think it could be a rare creature, while others believe it's nothing more than a harmless fish or floating debris. Creature by the lake. While walking through the desolate land, Jake saw a creature that was just weird, to say the least. It was standing still, almost as if waiting for something, but as soon as it noticed him, it quickly turned, and with a sudden leap, jumped into a nearby lake. The creature vanished beneath the water surface before the man could get a good look. It had an unusual, cryptid-like appearance, with features hard to make out. The man was sure it wasn't any known wildlife in the area. Australian Loch Ness. Legends of the Loch Ness Monster aren't just confined to Scotland. Off the coast of Australia, people reported seeing a creature that reminded them of the famous Loch Ness Monster. Eyewitnesses described seeing this creature emerge from the water, its shape resembling something out of a myth. Then, it performed an incredible dive, almost like it was flying, before disappearing back into the depths. The creature moved with such speed and grace it seemed to swim through the water. When this video was uploaded on the internet, people started wondering if they had just witnessed a real-life version of the Loch Ness Monster. What do you think? Loch Ness-like sighting. The Loch Ness Monster is one of the most famous legends of mysterious creatures lurking in the water. While out on a boat trip, a family had their own eerie experience that reminded them of that very legend. As they cruised across the lake, they spotted two strange creatures swimming nearby. It had long, twisting shapes and moved in and out of the water with ease, just like the famous Loch Ness Monster. Despite how big they were, the creatures didn't harm anyone. The family was left wondering, could they have stumbled upon a real-life mystery, or was it just a strange coincidence? Lake Giant sighting. Jet skiing is usually all about the thrill and freedom of speeding across the water, but sometimes it leads to unexpected surprises. A man was out enjoying the lake when something massive broke the surface in the distance. At first, he thought it was a whale, but as it lingered for just a moment before sinking back into the water, he couldn't help but feel something was off. The giant creature left only ripples behind, and the man was left wondering, was it a whale or something else entirely? The size and shape definitely made it look like one, but spotting such a huge creature in a lake was beyond unusual. What could it have been? River creature surprise. You never know what you might stumble upon while walking by a river, and this man's experience in Argentina is proof of that. As he strolled along, he noticed a fish lying near the edge of the water. It seemed to be alive, but was struggling. Wanting to help, he gently nudged it back into the river. But just moments later, something incredible happened. The fish was floating peacefully when suddenly, a huge creature shot up from the water. In the blink of an eye, it grabbed the fish and devoured it in a flash. Before he knew it, the creature disappeared back into the depths. From what he could tell, it looked like a giant crocodile. Tentacle mystery. Moving on, while chilling by the water, a tourist in Brazil spotted something strange. At first, it seemed like an ordinary plant, but as they got a closer look, things took a bizarre turn. This plant had tentacle-like parts that were moving like they had a mind of their own, way faster than anything you'd expect in water. The tentacles were shifting and twisting, almost like they were alive. It was clear this wasn't just some random vegetation. Whatever it was actively doing something with the water around it, like it had a plan. So, what was going on there? And now let us move on toward our subscribers' pick of the day. It's insane how quickly things can get dangerous when you're around a gator like Elvis. So, this terrifying moment was caught on camera at the Colorado Gator Farm. A worker was feeding a giant gator named Elvis. He tossed a raw turkey into the water, but the turkey missed. That's when everything went south. Out of nowhere, Elvis, a 12-foot, 600-pound beast, charged straight at the worker. The gator snapped its jaws just inches from the worker's legs. It was a super close call, but somehow Elvis missed. Fortunately, another worker quickly jumped in and held Elvis's snout down, stopping the situation from getting worse. The worker was shaken up, but thankfully, he was unharmed.